Welcome to another episode of the Misfits. But this is a special one. This is a Sporting Tribune Today takeover. We are here, Mykell, Mathieu, of course, with my guy, the greatest tag team in the sports media, my guy, Eric Lambkins. And welcome to Sporting Tribune Today on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Elam, this is a special episode, man. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, what's up, world? You guys are tuned in to the Misfits takeover here on the TST Radio Network, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. Mykell, I don't know if you know. Well, actually, I do know that you know. We're here inside Crypto.com Arena, reporting live, giving you guys a dose of realness in real time.
Yeah, man, and going to have a lot of fun with it, talking some great hoops, because we are here inside of the Crypto.com Arena where the Lakers and Clippers are facing off. And for you, Radio Land, you're going to hear this in the morning, breaking down that wall. But we're here in the building. It is live. The Lakers are winning because Luka has come out and put up a crazy first quarter performance, 24 points. But let's just talk about the totality of what we're seeing from this team so far, not just in this game, but in the season. So, Eric, when you look at what the Lakers have been doing so far this season, they come in here 12-4, playing some really good basketball. The return of LeBron, we were here on the show saying that he could possibly throw things off. You were leaning a little bit more that way, where I was like, maybe, just maybe, it might work out. And so far it is. Just what's your thoughts on what we're seeing from LeBron James and the Lakers?
You know what's crazy is, as great as the Lakers have looked thus far, LeBron James really has not been playing well in the grand scheme of things. Now, I understand the advanced metrics are strictly for nerds, but LeBron James continues to have a negative impact when he's on the court in terms of the starting five, right? Right now, with 3:29 remaining to play in the first half, LeBron James is sitting on 4 points, has no rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, but he has a negative 4 plus minus. In the last game, LeBron James had a negative 14 plus minus. The Lakers look visibly better with Marcus Smart on the court. Personally, I think that it would behoove the Lakers, it would benefit the Lakers for them to start Marcus Smart and again have LeBron James come off the bench. Now, I know that's sacrilegious.
Blasphemy.
It literally would improve the Lakers' chances of going on a legitimate run for another championship.
But you have to look at it, right? I'm not the biggest fan of plus minus. I think it's a load of crap. I think that it doesn't tell the full story. And he's playing his part. Like, he's being the Draymond Green for this team. That's like what I said, when we were on here on TSP today with Grant and Arash. That as long as he's being that, and that's what he's been so far since the he's not trying to, as he just knocked down a three-pointer, he's not trying to take over the team and say, I'm the guy, or I'm even the second guy. He's really trying to fit in and play his role, and he's done it successfully these first few games back. And that's why I think it truly makes the Los Angeles Lakers a title contender, because I think that this is going to be LeBron. He realizes that he's 40 and going on 40 plus, and that he can't do it by himself. So why not have a guy like Luka be himself, scoring 24 points in a quarter and letting Austin Reeves come out and get 20, 25, and then controlling the ball to where it just makes the game easier for itself. And the reason why we call guys greatest players of all time and things like that is because they know how to figure it out pretty much. And I think that he's figured it out. He's helped the Lakers win games, and that's why I think the Lakers are so successful.
You know what? Has he figured it out? I'm not necessarily sure. Are they figuring it out? Yes. It's still a work in progress. I love what I am seeing out of head coach JJ Redick. The Lakers are sharing the ball. They look like a completely drastically different offense than what they looked like last year. The Lakers currently lead the NBA in mid-range shooting percentage. That's something that you don't see in the modern NBA first and foremost, and you definitely didn't see this out of the Lakers. Now, the Lakers are pretty much at the bottom of the league when it comes to three-point shooting. Will they stay there the rest of the season? That remains to be seen. Will they stay in first place when it comes to shooting mid-range shots? I have absolutely no idea. What I do know is that the Lakers excel at getting to the rim, getting points in the paint, but even more so getting to the free throw line. This is something that is stable.
And I think, Elam, truly that that's just the way that the NBA is going. Like the NBA is getting back to some of the way of basketball was played in the 2000s, even the 90s, to where it's not just coming out and chunking up a bunch of threes. It's getting to the mid range, getting to the basket, and that fits exactly how the Lakers want to play. Look at Oklahoma City; they're a team that's at the bottom end of when it comes to three-point shot attempts. And I think that the Lakers are just playing the way that the game is played so far this season, and they're looking really good at it. That's why, we figured that they're going to smack up their little brothers today to get this win, and that they're going to continue to push forward and be one of the better teams in the NBA.
You know what? You know what I call it the mid-range shot, right?
Hey, where's your mic? Here's your mic. You're low. So, yeah, the mid range shot is the great equalizer, and it allows you, I feel, to take care of basketball because a lot of teams are going to allow you to get there. They want to run you off the 3-point line. So if you can get to the midi, it changes everything.
So you know what I call the mid-range shot?
What'd you call it?
The championship shot. It's impossible. Championship in the NBA without being able to shoot the mid-range. If you look at the past 10 champions, I want to say the team that has taken and made the most mid-range shots has gone on to win the NBA Finals. And if the Lakers can continue to rely upon the mid-range and knock it down at an effective clip, they don't necessarily have to lead the league in field goal percentage from mid-range shots. But if they're shooting, top 5 and they have a top 10 defense, this is a team that can really do something. Luka Doncic is going absolutely ham. I know it's not Thanksgiving yet. By the time you guys hear this, it'll be Thanksgiving.
It'll be closer. It'll be closer, yeah.
But Luka has 32 points in the first half. He is going absolutely bananas.
And he's a key reason why. If you remember, go and check the social media, the Misfits live. You're going to see me where I said that Luka was going to win his first in NBA MVP this season, and he's playing exactly like it, averaging like 34.5, 8 assists, nearly 9 rebounds. Like the guy is just playing out of his mind. And he gives the Lakers a true top 5 player with a lot of talent around him. Like tonight, they're without DeAndre Ayton, but we know what he has been able to do. I know he's dealing with the knee injury, but hopefully he's going to be okay. But you got Jackson Hayes. Maxi Kleber has been a plus. Like this Laker team is looking very dangerous, and the fans are out in droves, just like we're seeing today in the building, because they love this Laker team and they believe that this team has a chance to make a run, Elam.
You know what? I don't understand why you insist and continuously disrespect Luka Doncic. Top 5? Luka Doncic is not a top 5 player. Luka Doncic is a top 3 player. Let's not get it twisted. There are only 2 other people in the conversation, one of them being in Denver, that you could say may be better. And I will put Shea in the conversation. But outside of that, Luka Doncic is solidified as one of the best players in the NBA.
I like Giannis too. I like Giannis. Wemby whenever he's healthy, but I like the Luka. I like Kia Laker. I rock with Luka. I love that pick. But let's keep it here with the other LA team that we're watching tonight live here inside the Crypto.com arena. The Los Angeles Clippers, man. There's been some serious struggle on that end. Of course, the injuries. Kawhi Leonard missed 10 games. He's finally back. Of course, Bradley Beal, the big addition, who coached Ty Lue, said in the presser this season that he was supposed to be a top three player. He's out for the season. And they just don't look like a team that, if you remember, Elam, before the season, I said, hey, the Clippers might be the best team in LA. Boy, was I wrong.
But
They
you're
they
always
are
wrong.
terrible.
You're
Nah,
always wrong. This is nothing
that
new.
is cap. That is not true. But let's talk about the Clippers, Elan, because you got the scandal, of course, that they're dealing with, and then you have, of course, the injuries and just bad play. Because I feel some type of way about Ty Lue, but I'm gonna save that. What's your thoughts on what we're seeing from this Clipper team tonight, and then from the season in general?
Well, tonight they're making things competitive. Right now it's halftime. The score is 69 Los Angeles Lakers. But when it comes to the overall season, you know what they call me in the streets out here in Los Angeles, right?
What's that? What's that?
Lambstradamus, because I predicted this. I told you there was absolutely no way Bradley Beal, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard would be able to go through an entire season healthy. Everybody was saying, well, you got to like the Clippers' chances if they remain healthy. Listen, if were fifth, then everybody would be having a good time right about now. The Clippers are never going to be healthy. Not ever.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell just you know, their time after they've moved outside of the LA sports arena. The Clippers have really struggled in terms of maintaining some semblance of an identity. At first, they were, the JV team. They were the little brothers, and during the Lob City era,
Yeah.
they garnered a ton of
You
attention, a ton of
wait, hold
fans.
up. You
But
said
they
you said they were the little brothers. They still are the little
no, hold on,
brothers.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Okay.
It hasn't changed. I'm just telling you the
Okay.
general perception. In my eyes, they're always going to be second class citizens here uh, in Los Angeles. Maybe ICE needs to
Okay.
come and come grab some of these players and boot them out the city. But
But no,
what
yeah.
what what I see out of the Clippers, they're just a
Yeah.
team floundering right now. Defensively they look disjointed. Offensively, they're one of the bottom half of the teams. Uh, just nothing seems to go right now. I thought it was completely preposterous when I heard Clipper fans saying, "Hey, we need to get rid of Ty Lue." At this juncture, I think they need to just blow it up, get rid of everybody. The only real trade assets that they have are John Collins, and I hate to say it, Ibaka Zubac. Trade one, if not both of them. Try to get some assets in return and flip this over because this team is heading nowhere fast.
I, but I think when it comes to Coach Ty Lue and Lawrence Frank, that there won't be a true discussion until after the season, because you want to see them at least get into the playoffs. They don't get their lottery pick. Of course, it goes to the boogeyman of the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So you want to see them try to make a push. People in the chat are like, hey, they trust Ty Lue. I do too. But I don't know if Ty Lue is the coach for a rebuild. So that's why I think just getting through this season, Kawhi Leonard, you're being paid as much money as he is. He needs to try to play and give them all he can. James Harden has been playing lights out. I cannot hate on what he's been able to do helping the team. And the beat is Zubac. If you remember last season, a lot of people were like, this is an all NBA guy. This is a guy that could have possibly been a defensive player of the year winner. And he has kind of struggled at the beginning of the season. So the season, it's a lot of season left. The Clippers just have to lean on their best guys and the young guys. I would like to see more Kobe Sanders, like we're starting to see. Jordan Miller, once he returns from injury. Kobe Brown, giving him some Brown in there because I know they came into this year with all these old guys. Old guys cannot win in today's NBA. The game is so much space, so much pace. The young guys, the young teams are picking you up full court. So you want to see some young guys to combat that. So I'm glad that Coach Ty Lue is going into his bench and playing these guys and giving them minutes. That's why you don't get to see the legendary Chris Paul as much as you probably want to see him because you have to go towards the youth. So shout out for Ty Lue for that. But this season is just about getting through it at this point. right? At the beginning of the year, you might have had slight hope of a NBA championship push, but at this point, with the injuries and how the players just get through the season, try to become a play-in team and try to get yourself into that top eight so that that pick won't be too high for OKC, and I think that you'll be okay.
Did you just say get into the play-in? You really think this team is a play-in team?
I think that they can try to make a push. They won't be 7 or 8, but I think maybe they can get to the 10th spot. I'm gonna have to bring up the standings right here. So as of now, they're only half game from the 10th spot, which is Memphis, and then they are a game and a half or 2 games and a half from Portland. So they're right there. You go on a nice little 2 or 3 game or 3 game winning streak, you have an opportunity to push yourself into the play in. So there's still hope for a play-in slot. And if you're a Clipper fan, that's what you're going to lean on. That a healthy Kawhi, healthy James Harden, healthy Avicii Zubac can lead these guys at least, at the very least, into a play-in spot.
Well, we'll see how it all unfolds. But let's switch gears right now. College football,
Oh,
USC ran out of Oregon.
oh man.
Kels, what was your take? What was your take about the Oregon USC game?
If you remember last week on our Misfits show, I was like, hey, I picked USC the week before when you didn't believe in them against Iowa. I was like, it's hard. It's in Eugene. I knew it was going to be tough. But the games that the Trojans have lost football games this season has been due to offensive turnovers. And that's what killed them in this game. Of course, the defense was what you like to say, cool cheese, but the offense needed to be flawless and dang near perfect for them to be Oregon, and they just weren't that, and it allowed Oregon the opportunity to get these leagues and put them away.
You know what? I often wonder whether or not we watched the same game because that was an abysmal performance offensively. You had
Oh
Jaden
yeah.
Mayava. Yes, he threw 3 touchdowns, 306 yards, but he threw 2 ridiculous interceptions. And I have
Hmm.
absolutely no idea where the rushing game was. King Miller, 15 carries, 30 yards. Listen, with a bum ACL and 2 ankle surgeries, I could have put up more rushing yards than that. But the defense, I often wonder what the heck Deanton Lynn is doing in terms
What is
of
he
his
doing?
adjustments at the half.
Yeah.
But that defense, that defensive showing was abysmal. There's absolutely
And
no push
you know what
along
that
the
defense looks
defensive line.
like? That defense looks like we can get me, you, Grant, Anwar, Raj, and a few others, and we can go out and put some points up on that defense. And like I said, they needed to help. They needed to do something to help the offense, especially if the offense were gonna turn the ball over. They needed to have some type of resistance, but there was none at all. And Oregon took advantage of it. I just knew if the Trojans had any chance, they needed a perfect football game from that offense. I'm talking about running well, Mayava throwing no turnovers and having
And
three or
they
four
needed some
touchdowns.
sort of defense.
Yeah, something. They needed something and they got nothing.
So it begs the question. Lincoln Riley has a history of coming up lame in the big games. He's looking like Clay Helton. Their records are eerily similar. Is Lincoln Riley the head coach to move this program in the right direction?
I guess I can't. I'm gonna wait till next season because they have the number one recruiting class coming in, and you want to see what he's going to be able to do with that. Mayaba, I believe he's returning. Right? Will he be back for another year?
Possibly, possibly.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that he comes back. I know you're probably going to lose Micah, and you're going to lose
Makai,
Jacoby
I
there.
don't know why you insist on calling him Micah. It's Makai.
Oh, Makai Lemon. He played like Micah against Oregon, but Makai Lemon. Yeah, you're gonna lose those 2 guys, but we gotta give him one more year. I'm not a fan of Lincoln Riley, but hey, that tone left UCLA when they were a top 10 defense in the country, and we thought that he was gonna bring that over so that Lincoln could just focus on the offense. The offense hasn't totally been the problem this season. It's been the defense. When they lost to Illinois, it was the defense. They lost to Notre Dame, it was the defense. They lost to Oregon, it was the defense. Hell, they can lose to UCLA this weekend if the defense has a
And now,
dud. So,
listen, we gonna get to that my other school. Being a
yeah.
graduate of both institutions, this is a week of internal conflict, but we're not gonna get to UCLA just yet. But there was a question. Lincoln Riley had a meltdown in the presser after the game. Let's hear what was posed and what his response was.
Coach, there was a sign in college media this morning from an Oregon fan that said extend Lincoln Riley's contract. What are your thoughts on the fact that opposing fan bases are happy about the fact that the coach of USC and since they don't view as a threat to them?
That might be the dumbest question I've been asked as long as I've been a head coach, and I've been asked a lot of questions. You ought to feel a little embarrassed to ask that question. This is a professional thing. You ought to try it.
Hey, he was a little feisty, man. He was a little feisty, which is crazy. But just for a reminder, folks, before we push forward, we are here. It is the Misfits takeover here for the Sporting Tribune today. Mykell, Mathieu, Eric Lambkins is second. We are doing our thing. Remember, welcome to the Sporting Tribune today. KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. We got to talk more about that, Elam. What's your thoughts on what you heard from Lincoln Riley? Was that professional of him?
You know, I thought it was a valid question. I thought the question was posed horribly. I do know that the journalist that asked the question, he is USC Annenberg trained. I believe he was covering it for Annenberg Media. I thought the question was valid. I think Lincoln's response kind of warranted, but I think he didn't need to go that big on the reporters.
No, yeah, and some of the reporters, we in the business, right? And some reporters are showing up to try to get that clickbait moment. Um, Sometimes you got to get a feel for the room. We're in the building for Rams, Chargers, USC, UCLA sports, Lakers, Clippers, and etc. That after a loss like that, I don't know if I would have hit him with that question at that time because I already know the emotions that he's going through. He just lost his opportunity to be in the college football playoffs by losing to Oregon. So I understand him being feisty, but then at the same time, it's our job as journalists to ask some of those tough questions, and that's exactly what happened there. So it is what it
I don't know
is,
if that was
man.
a tough question. I don't know if that was a tough question. Bringing up college game day and signage on college game day, man, I would have said something along the lines of, you
Hey,
continuously show an inability to win big games. What is it about those games, those moments where you fall short, and what have you learned? What are you learning from these experiences? But I didn't like the question, and I definitely didn't like Lincoln Riley's answer. Had that been me, there would have been some sort of dialogue.
but think about this. The Trojans are 0-5 against top 10 opponents during Riley's tenure. They've dropped to 0-7 overall against teams who wound up finishing inside the top 10. People got questions. They want to know what the heck is going on with this Trojans team. They got talent over there. You believe that they have the coaching. People want to see them succeed, and they just aren't seeing it. And that's why you're getting backlash from the fans. You're getting media to ask these tough questions because you coming in as Lincoln Riley, we thought things were going to change completely for USC, not just winning 8 games, 9 games, but actually being a team that's competing in the playoffs. He's getting paid a buku of bucks to coach a winner, not just a team. He's not coaching at UCLA, Elam. He's not coaching at Cal Berkeley. He's coaching at USC, and they expect greatness. And that's from fans, media, boosters, and whoever else.
Whoa. Why is USC expecting greatness? They haven't had greatness since Pete Carroll left. This is this
Hey,
is this has been very run of the mill. This is what's to be expected because this is what they've allowed.
yeah, and they got to figure something out because it is not looking how everybody hoped. Like I said, they're not UCLA, So you got to get it together. But speaking of UCLA, it's rivalry week seems like in LA. You got the Lakers and Clippers playing, which we're in the building for tonight, and then UCLA, USC this weekend at the Coliseum. What you got, Eli? You got UCLA pulling off the upset there, or what?
I don't know why you just asked that question with a straight face, because there's absolutely no way that UCLA is getting ready to even. I'd be surprised if UCLA scores 14 points in this game, because they have stunk majority of the
Uh,
year. But this is the
okay.
Misfit. This is the Misfit takeover here on the TST network. Uh, you can catch us on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Listen, this game is not going to be close. The only way this game remains close is if UCLA is able to commit and be effective in running the ball. Outside of that, it's not going to be close. They can't block. Nico holds on to the ball far too often, far too
Yep.
long. If his first read isn't there, he's trying to scramble. UCLA is just not a well put together team, and it's crazy because they closed out possibly their last performance in the Rose Bowl in such a paltry poo cheese fashion. They got absolutely decimated by Washington, and they're getting ready to walk inside the Coliseum to a whimpering, uh, uh, hurt
Yeah.
U.S. Trojans team. But USC's getting it's bowl season for them, so they'll start playing some of their younger guys. I anticipate in the second half, but
Mhm.
this is going to be a USC
Yeah.
running, winning the victory bell all over again.
And you know what happened, man?
What's that?
UCLA, they got the nice Jordan jerseys, right? And earlier in the year, they win those three straight games and had people like, wait a minute, new Heisel, is he really sparking his offense that much? But clearly they're out. They ran out of Mykell's secret stuff, and they turned back into the team that struggled against everybody. And I expect to see the exact same thing. I believe that they're going to struggle mightily against USC. It's going to be some family love on Saturday because I'm gonna be able to see, some fans show up in that game and hopefully make a play or two. But UCLA are just over their head against USC, and USC's coming off this loss. They're gonna be pissed off. They're gonna be ready to dominate their rivals at home, and they're going to do exactly that: dominate and destroy the UCLA Bruins.
It's so funny that you said UCLA is sponsored by Jordan. They play like they should be sponsored by Shaq. That is a
The Shaq
terrible.
shoes.
They are a terrible, terrible program. I don't know what it's going to take. There are tons of alumni who are calling for the firing of Martin Jarmon, the athletic
Yeah.
director over at
Mhm.
UCLA. There are tons of supporters and season ticket holders who are pissed off that UCLA is potentially moving to SoFi Stadium. This complete program is disheveled, it's in disarray, it's dysfunctional, and it's just
Yeah.
time to get rid of this.
Yeah, and it's looking ugly for them. But we're kind of talking about ugly here with the Misfits and
Speak for
the
yourself.
Sports
I'm
Tribune
handsome.
today. No, but I'm saying we're tired of talking about the ugly here with the
Oh, okay.
Misfits live and the Sports Tribune today. So we want to talk about greatness that we're seeing, especially on the football field, and we're going to take you to the NFL with the Los Angeles Rams, who were BTA against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday night, 34-7. I expected the Rams to win. I didn't expect for it to get that ugly, but shout out to the Rams who's playing some great football. Matthew Stafford should be the clear-cut MVP right now. It's him and Drake May, but I'm leaning Stafford, what he's able to do. Devontae Adams. People came into this season saying, oh, he's washed. He's not the same guy. The guy is leading the NFL in touchdown catches. Puka is Puka. The defense is lights out. This team is playing some inspiring football, Elam, and you cover them What's your thoughts? I know you got some great things to say about them.
You know what? I called it at the beginning, before the season began. I said the Rams would be a Super Bowl contender. And I don't know if you're a betting guy, but the Sporting Tribune is
There's some
sponsored
people
by
out there. Yeah,
it's
there's some
the
people
Sporting
out there.
the Sporting Tribune is sponsored by BetAG. And if you look at the Super Bowl odds, the Rams are favored to win the Super Bowl. I told you guys, as long as Matthew Stafford was healthy, as long as that front five to keep Matthew upright, number 9 was going to take care of business. I loved what I saw, even without Matthew Stafford during training camp. Jimmy Garoppolo had this offense humming, and the craziest part is the offense still had yet to play a complete game. This last
Yeah.
game, Kyron Williams only had about 40-something yards. Blake Corum looks a tad bit slow, but when you have Colby Parkinson, Terrence Ferguson,
Mhm.
Nakua, Devontae Adams going off, you kind of don't need a run game. But I'm telling you, November is when the pretenders separate from the contenders. And right now, the Los Angeles Rams are leading the charge. You gotta like Matthew Stafford's Super Bowl odds, but even more than that, he's been playing like an MVP all year. And I keep saying it's only a matter of time before this defensive coordinator, Chris Shula, gets an opportunity to
Yep.
his own team, because prior to last season, I don't think anybody knew who Jared Verse was or Braden Fitz. There were 2 rookies coming out of Florida State, and
I knew who they were.
he had a hodgepodge collection of talent and really has
Yeah.
made defense the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. Chris Shula is on a short list to be a head coach in the NFL.
Hey, so teams better look out, but I'm just excited for what the Rams are doing because they just continue pretty much what we saw them do last season. How they finished is how they started this season, and they have continued to dominate. Just imagine they could easily be undefeated if it wasn't
Undefeated.
for a Kyron Williams fumble at the 2-yard line
Well, he
against the
got punched in the
49ers
jaw.
on
He got
Thursday
punched in the
night.
jaw. He was seeing
Yeah,
stars.
it was a knockout punch. So if it wasn't for a Tyson punch in that game and then a blocked field goal in the Philadelphia Eagles game, the team will be undefeated. So the Rams mean business. I'm curious to see them finish the season strong. They got the Carolina Panthers this week. I'm pretty sure you're with me on this one, Eric. We got the Rams smacking up the Panthers on the road. But
You know what we
man,
call
the
that, right?
Rams,
That's easy
what
work.
we call
That's easy work.
easy work, or the young kids like to say BTA. For you old folks out there, go and look that up. But they got the Panthers, they got the Cardinals. I can't wait to see them play Detroit and at Seattle to finish the season there, and then they have Atlanta and the Cardinals again. So they can easily walk away this season with maybe one more loss, if that. So man, the Rams are a team that's going to be reckoned with, and don't be surprised if you see them in Santa Clara again this season, but this time playing representing the NFC because they're that dang good.
Mykell,
Yeah,
the only way any team beats this Rams team is if there's attrition,
injuries.
injuries.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it. No,
That's it. I
or
think they can run the table, but they're not going to come out and play a bad game because in order for the Rams to lose, all 3 phases have to be abysmal. The defense is not going to do that because they can travel. The run game is going to be able to travel. You got the
mhm.
kicker Harrison Mevis.
Yeah.
He's replaced
I
Josh
I don't
Carty.
know how I feel. I don't know how I feel calling the man thicker. It's kind of different to me,
Yeah,
but
I
that's his
mean,
nickname.
hey,
That's his nickname.
that's what they call him in these streets. Hey, I
Yeah,
don't call him that. I call him Harrison.
yeah, yeah.
But
But
the
they,
the special teams has gotten corrected. I don't see when you have Ethan Evans, a punter. The punter is a weapon.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to find a hole, not just on the roster, but looking at Sean
On the
McVay, he's
staff.
in his
Yeah,
bag. Chris Shula
yeah.
in his bag. So you know what? I honestly believe that the Rams are going to run the table, the road to the Super Bowl is paved on these LA streets. You got to go through SoFi to
Yeah.
get to Levi's.
And I think that's key. That's why the Rams want to make sure they do finish strong because you don't want to have to travel to Philadelphia if they find a way to pick up some wins here at the end. You don't want to have to travel to the East Coast at all. Make everybody have to come to LA and deal with a ruckus SoFi crowd who's going to show up even more in the playoffs. So I'm excited about that. But let's talk about the votes, man. We got to talk about the other Los Angeles team. Are they considered the little brother? Like we're here at the Lakers Clippers. We know the Clippers are the little brother. Are the Chargers the little brother, Eli?
I think the Chargers are just the unwanted team in LA. You can package them and the Clippers and send them back to San Diego, but the
Okay.
Chargers, they're struggling. You know, the strength of
Okay.
that offense in particular was the offensive line, and they have been decimated. You lose Rashawn Slater as soon as he signs his extension. You lose Joe Alt. It's kind of hard to win when you don't have a starting left tackle, let alone a starting left and right tackle.
Yeah.
If there's any team that you want to face after a bye, it is the putrid, the tepid, the abysmal,
Yeah.
the garbage, Las Vegas Raiders who just fired Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly shouldn't be coaching a high school team
At all. He should be done. He should be sitting with us on the show probably somewhere talking football.
I might have to reach out to him and see if we can get him to break down.
Reach out to him. Hey, remember me for UCLA covering your team, man? What's up? We're trying to get you on. Maybe he'll come and rock with us. But for the Chargers, man, you just hate to see all the injuries. Amarion Hampton looks like he's going to be back, which is great. I believe they're going to smoke and demolish the Raiders, which will help them get to 8-4, which is great. But, man, they have a heck of a gauntlet to finish this season, Elam, with the injuries and some of the inconsistencies that they've been playing with. You got, after the Raiders, you got at home Philly on Monday night, which, you know, Philly is tough, the defending champs. Then you travel to Kansas City and Dallas, and then you come back home to play the Houston Texans, who may have the best defense in football. Then you finish the season in Denver. It is going to be a tough task. I love Coach Harbaugh. I noticed you do. That's your guy, former 49ers coach. But for me, it's always Justin Herbert, man. Like we know, or at least the tape has shown, when the games matter most, sometimes Justin Herbert isn't that guy. And now he's playing behind a offensive line that is not as good as everyone expected because of no Alt or Slater. It's going to be really up to him because the defense isn't number one like they were last season. They aren't dominating when running the ball. Last time we saw them, they lost 35-6 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who nearly just lost to the Cardinals. So they're going to beat up on the Raiders, but can they leave that gauntlet at least 3-2? Eric, I would say they need to go at least 3-2 to finish the season because Eagles, Chiefs, Dallas, Texans, and Denver Broncos will all be challenging games for them, with them dealing with the injuries and inconsistencies.
Have you seen that meme that says, "Are you sure? You sure about that? You sure about that?"
I'm sure.
I don't think the Chargers are going to lose more than one game. Well, let me correct it. I think 2 games. I can see 2 games. I think they lose to the Broncos, but I think the Chiefs is a possibility. Listen, I don't know if you've been watching the Philadelphia Eagles, but that offense, it's unimaginable.
I'm thinking about the Texans. That defense travels, and if they cause some turnovers,
But you like, what are you getting out of the quarterback position? You're not getting much. I think
they just knocked off Buffalo. Okay, it's gonna be tough though. I see, for me, they beat the Raiders. I see 3 losses at the end of the season. I think they go 2-3. That maybe can sneak them in, but I'm just not sure. Remember, a couple weeks ago, you said they won't make the playoffs. So are you sticking with that?
That's when Joe Alt got hurt. Listen, if there's any coach that I trust, it's Jim Harbaugh. I called I know this is going to be the first time a lot of people are hearing me say this. I said the Chiefs were not going to make the playoffs, and I'm going to stick to that. I honestly think that they'll beat the Chiefs again.
Nah,
Dallas, that should be a
I can't
win.
see them beating the Chiefs twice.
Listen, I
I
mean, you
can't see
can't
them
see
beating
a
the
lot of
Chiefs twice. I can't see them beating because they probably beat Denver because Denver might be resting their starters that game. But I'm looking at that Philly on my because it's the Chargers, man. Whenever it comes to these big games and primetime moments where you expect them to win, you be like, oh, I know they're gonna show up for this. They don't show up. So they're gonna have to prove me wrong. Until then, I'm gonna pick against them. And I have them still getting into the playoffs. And I think they will because I think teams around them will lose. But I think like I've been saying all off season, three teams from the AFC West is going to make it. The Chargers are going to slip into the playoffs, but it starts by taking care of the Raiders this Sunday, man. So I can't wait to see that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for our TST today, for our sports interview today, folks, thank you guys for being here with us with the Misfits. You know that it's all love, and we thank you for tuning in. And we're going to have to do this with you guys again and do another Misfits takeover. Mykell, Mathieu, Eric Lambkins in second. We thank you, KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Network for tuning in with us. We got love for you guys. Peace out there. We know we got more shows, man. Let's get to it. Let's take it away from LA. Let's take you around the NFL world. And let's talk about what we saw in week 12 and what we're looking forward to in week 13. So week 12, we saw some really good performances. Hey, you like to bury them and talk crazy about them. Just win. That is what Caleb Williams is doing for the Chicago Bears. I don't know, Elam. I don't know how they're winning, but they're finding ways to
It's
win.
the defense, man. It's
Okay.
the defense. Listen, the defense was legit before the season began. They're playing
Mhm.
out of their minds right now. Caleb Williams, all he's got to do is sit on the sideline, paint his nails, and not get in the way. The defense will do enough to carry them forward.
Yeah, that defense is doing really well. The Patriots, they hold on, they take care of the Bengals. The
Hey,
Ravens,
Joe. Well, I can't call him Joe
y-
Cool. There's only one Joe
yeah,
Cool, but
not yeah.
Joe
Joe
Thorough,
Burrow.
Joe
He gonna
Thorough
be
is
back.
coming back.
He gonna be
He's
back.
gonna be
Yeah.
back.
So that's gonna be fun. They're gonna be facing off against the Ravens, who's coming off a sluggish, ugly victory
Hey,
against the Jets.
they look trash this year.
They look bad. They gonna win that division though because the Steelers just aren't really as good, and the Bengals, are so low.
If the Bengals are able to win on Sunday, they can go on a nice little run, and
That
never know what can happen.
that's gonna be tough. But that's gonna be the late game on Thursday, so that's gonna be fun. A divisional game. The Packers take care of business. No, Josh Jacobs, they take care of business. Knock off the Vikings. They're looking really solid. Shout out to my guy Jameer Gibbs with the Lions. I don't know why
Ooh,
that game was that
absolutely
close, but
nasty.
I know he went crazy because I have him on my fantasy squad. 54 points that man put up to help me.
You
I
said
nearly beat
you don't
my
know why. You don't know why the Giants or the game was that close. You have to go
yeah.
against Winston in the kingdom of heaven, bro.
Hey, that man is a receiver and quarterback. That was a heck of a play that he made, man. Shimmy and dancing and the little celebration like Jameis. He just him running, him playing football, him talking, he's gonna always entertain, give you a laugh, make you smile. Like that guy is next level, man. So shout out to Jameis, but it just wasn't enough. Jameer Gibbs was crazy. I gotta tell people a lot of times, like he looks a lot like Jamal Charles to me. And you saw Jamal Charles do great things in this league, and Gibbs might be slightly better than him. So that is scary there. We talked about it. The Jaguars, they continue to win somehow, some way. They're like the AFC's version of the Chicago Bears. They be trying to lose games and still win, Elam. Like I haven't seen it like this before. Teams trying to lose and still win. That's what the Jaguars are doing. But we got to talk our guy Ben's favorite player, producer Ben. Shout out to him. Hey, TSC, y'all gonna learn more about our guy Ben, and more about us on a weekend basis because we will be here with you live on the Sporting Tribune X account. But Shador Sanders picks up his first win. Shout out to
Oh
Baby
no,
Pine.
don't clap, because you were hating on him. You said you
No,
didn't
oh, the
believe.
hate ain't gone.
You
I
said
still don't
you
believe.
didn't believe.
I
I
I
told you.
still don't believe.
I said give Shador opportunity to run with the ones, and good things will happen. They don't call me Lambkins for nothing, bro. This is a nickname that I earned.
Elam, I got one word for you. You ready for it?
I'm listening,
Raiders. That's why they were
bro.
playing against
It was
the
his first
Raiders.
start. It's his first start. It's his first start.
We gonna learn more about him this week when they play against your boys in San Fran or Santa Clara. That's what we gonna see. And I don't expect him to win, but if he can come out and look really like look solid, he's a rookie. I don't expect him to light it up. He isn't that type of guy coming to the league. But if he can look solid, he can make me a little more of a believer. But I still don't believe his first touchdown was a screen pass that went like 70 yards. It wasn't him dissecting the defense and doing crazy
Hey,
things.
Dylan
So
Gabriel didn't have him looking like that. It's something. It's something.
Hey, Dylan Gabriel didn't play the Raiders. That's why. If he would have played the Raiders, we'd have looked at him much differently. But of course, the Chiefs were able to pick up their victory there against the Colts coming back. They made it scary, but they made it happen. Just like the Cowboys who had to come back and pick up a win. And both of those teams are going to be facing on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Hey, this might be one of our best three games I think we're going to see on Thanksgiving. You start off with a battle for first place with Detroit and Green Bay, and then you have the Chiefs and Cowboys, two teams coming off these comeback victories versus really good teams and needing to win these games to continue to make a playoff push. And then you have the divisional rivalry between the Bengals and Ravens with Joe Burrow coming back. Is that the best Thanksgiving games we've probably seen?
Yeah, I can't think of a better slate than these three.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line for all three of these games. Green Bay and Detroit, they're jockeying for position in the NFC North. Dallas, they just came off a huge win against
Yeah.
Philadelphia. They get to host the lukewarm Kansas City Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be in full effect. And then I got Joe Burrow, Joe Thorough. He's getting ready to turn into Joe Shiesty in Baltimore. He's going to do his thing.
I'm going Detroit. I just think Green Bay beat them earlier in the year. That they're gonna try to
Green
get
Bay's
their
not real.
get back.
Green Bay's not
Um, Green Bay's defense is real. Jordan Love and our offense isn't as real as people hope they would be. So I think Detroit finds a way to get that win there. I think the Chiefs just find a way. Like the Cowboys, if you look at the Chiefs game versus the Colts, they gained 250 more yards than them. They were able to bottle them up. It was just the Chiefs just always find ways to bite them or shoot themselves in the foot. What was his name? Cheddar Bob themselves. They find
Plaxico
ways to do
Bird.
that. Yeah, Plaxico themselves. They find ways to do that. And it's happened in a lot of games this year. That fourth quarter really showed me something because they finally start throwing outside the numbers and it helped open things up. They finally used Xavier Worthy as an actual receiver, not just a deep and gadget guy. They were like, we're going to open up the route tree for you. He did some things. They ran the football with Kareem Hunt. Pacheco's going to be back, so you're going to get, that. And they finally found a way to use Braden Smith with all of his speed, the rookie there. And I think the defense has been solid. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to take a close game, and they're going to start to get themselves right. And I got jokes.
You said a whole bunch of lot, not even a whole bunch of nothing. You said a whole bunch of lot.
Hey, shout out to my
to-
guy Trey Wingo. He's like this with me. He like, hey, I see what you see, and I believe in it until somebody show me different, and I'm gonna be the same way with that,
You
man.
know what's crazy? Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, saw the same thing. Nothing.
Greatness, greatness. That's what they saw. It was dark, but it was greatness that they saw, and that's why they end up becoming the legends that they became. So, shout out to Stevie Wonder. Rest in peace to Ray Charles. And that last game, I just think Lamar is banged up, and Jamar Chase is going to be back from that suspension. Joe Cool. Only reason why he's playing, they probably
He's
not going to
not
make
Joe
the
Cool, man.
playoffs.
Don't disrespect
Joe
Joe
Cool
Montana.
too. My fault. Joe Cool too.
Joe
And
Shiesty, Joe
it's not
Thorough, man.
2.0. It's not 2.0. It's Joe Cool too because the Joe Cool, the the all time, the chief great Joe Montana. That's him. But I think
He
that
played for the Chiefs.
oh yeah, he almost took him to a Super Bowl if you
Almost. Really?
believe it.
You sound like a certain fan base that celebrates almost victories.
Hey, almost. I can say it now because they've been able to win some Super Bowls. So, uh, shout out to that. Shout out to the NFL, man. They're winning with this Thanksgiving, and then you get some Black Friday football, Elam, for the first time. Black Friday, you can shop at home and watch the Bears and Eagles and see which team figures that out. Who you got in that game? Because that's going to be a really good game as well.
Black Friday, man. You know what's crazy? I think I'm gonna actually go with Chicago and winning this. I just don't like what I see out of that Philadelphia Eagles offense.
Okay.
Saquon doesn't look the same, and that's in large part because the offensive line is not the same. Losing Mekhi Becton, although
Yeah.
he's not a household name, is showing that it's having a huge blow. It's provided a huge chasm along that offensive line. I think they'll probably play a lot of zone and dare
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts to beat them from the pocket. There's
Yep.
absolutely no way that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to run and scramble on this team. Chicago's the real deal when it comes to the defense, and you know, Kevin Patullo. A lot of people are up in arms about the plays that he's called, but I think there's a lot more to the reason why he's calling the plays that he's calling. But you ask me who I'm going with. I'm going with Chicago.
Yeah, I gotta see. Is that a home game or
Yeah,
is
it's a
it
home game.
because
It's a home game for the Eagles.
for the Eagles? If it's at home, I'm gonna go to with the Eagles. They play much better at home. They it's like they show up to work at home. So I expect them to take care of business there. It's gonna be close. Like I said, they're another team with the Bears and the what's the other team I said? The Jaguars, who they be trying to lose games and still find ways to win. But I think the Eagles realize that hey, this is go time. We just embarrassed ourselves playing against our rivals, the Dallas Cowboys, up 21-0 and not finding a way to win that game. Shame on us. We will be sitting at the top of the NFC with the tiebreaker over the Rams. So I think they're going to show up in that game and really do their thing. Hurts, and that offense is going to figure some things out, and they're going to pick up a victory. But it's going to be some great football. Like this entire weekend for the pros, for college, it's a great time of football. When you hit that November, December, it's like all the games truly matter. You don't want to lose, so it's going to be
November, December.
the
Hold on, bro. This the NFL. Every week matters.
no
November and
facts, facts,
December
facts.
is when you
Yeah.
separate the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah, facts. I like that. I like that. But before we get out of here, we got to talk to some culture for our new TSC fans. When you come and check out the Misfits live, you're going to laugh. You're going to be informed. You're going to be engaged. You're going to be entertained. All that stuff here with us. Make sure you guys
You'll
follow us
probably want to
on
choke one of us out.
yeah, follow us on Instagram, The Misfits Live. Show us some love. A lot of great content we got for you. Follow us on YouTube, The Misfits Live, where you can be a part of the show. Comments. We would love to talk to you. We would love to hear what you think about our takes. Or maybe you got takes that you want to share. You can do it there on YouTube. But it's not just sports. It's culture, entertainment. We usually do political
Conspiracy
ease.
theories,
Yeah,
politics.
everything. So we before we get out of here, it's been a we gotta pick our winner. Do we got our winners? Do we got our winners, Eli? Or are we gonna do that on social media?
I don't know. Producer Ben, do we? So whether or not you know this, we were giving away 2 codes for PlayStation 5 to download Call of Duty. Those of
Yep.
you who did it, hey, you're officially entered into the sweepstakes. Uh, Matter of fact, I'll give you one more day. One more day.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you one more day. So for
Our TSC fans.
all the new TST fans, if you want to enter for a chance to win Call of
Tonight.
Duty 7 and you have a PS5 console tonight. We're closing this down at midnight PST. Actually, I'll give you till 6 a.m.
No,
tomorrow.
do this. I got an idea. All right. We want to
All right,
show
what's that?
love to our fans, especially you new TSC fans. Y'all gonna see them. Y'all probably already seen a lot of us with content and writing and things like that. But you're gonna see even more of us here, the Misfits Live. We want to show thanks. So we're going to give you tonight and Wednesday to enter in, and on Thanksgiving we will show thanks to two of you guys for tapping in with us, following us, showing us love. So we need you to follow, the
Follow the
Misfits Live.
Instagram page on
Go
Instagram
like
and
and subscribe.
subscribe on YouTube.
Hey, follow Mykell the PG. Follow Elam Squared on Instagram. If you do all of those things, we're going to make sure that you are the winner. And so we're going to give thanks to you, baby.
And once you subscribe and you hit the follow button, just go on and put your name under the little giveaway, and you'll have a chance, an opportunity to win. Listen, I have 2 codes. They're yours. I don't play the game. They're yours. So all you got to do to enter is enter. Because as of right now, there's only been like 3 people. So you got
Hey,
good
that's
chances.
That's people are dedicated to that Call of Duty, man. So shout out to those 3. Make it more, and you'll have a chance to win. And we will announce. Eric will announce on Thanksgiving Day who the 2 winners were. But before we got here, final topic. It's been over a year now, since the release of the GNX album. Kendrick Lamar. He was coming off of one of the most historical rap beef victories, and then he dropped his surprise album. I remember the day of, Eric hit me up, was like, hey, you got your wish. Your boy finally did it. I'm like, what? You got your West Coast sounding album, and it was great. And it got me thinking about the GNX album. With it being a year, is the GNX album a classic hip hop album, Elam? I'll let you answer this one first.
You know what? I gotta say that Kendrick Lamar, he don't miss. It's sniper season every time he steps in the booth because it's a certified classic. Craziest thing is I didn't see how he was going to move forward, what was going to happen after the dismantling and making of some Canadian bacon, but he dropped DNX, and I was like, oh, this is what Kels was looking for, and he delivered. Dodger Blue was such an appropriate song for this championship run. I personally was banging it at the parade, but it's so many bangers on that album. No skips, absolutely none. And I think this has true replayability. I don't think it's his best album. I still have Good Kid, Mad City as the quintessential Kendrick album, but this is a classic.
No, it gives you, it's entertaining, right? You got lyricism, you got, if you're like storytelling, it gives you everything. And only issue for it for me, Elam, it was that it's too short. I wish that the GNX album had a song, like a two songs more, and it would have been like, hey, I'm putting this up there with any of it, because it gave us a different Kendrick Lamar that we've seen. It gave us exactly what I think that he needed for his career. He needed that bona fide, um, he needed that bona fide West Coast classic, and he gave us that. He started it off, whacked out mural, squabbled up, gives you a slapper. The storytelling of Gloria and Reincarnated, and you got, of course, TV Off, which is a hit single. You got Luther, which is a smash, which he was able to give you the Luther Vandross vibe. Peekaboo, Dodger Blue, like, and for you people out there, there's a lot of idiots out there. Nobody listens to Kendrick Lamar. You come to LA, you feel his presence for sure, especially after this album, at the arenas, stadiums, parties, celebrations. It's Kendrick Lamar like at his peak doing his thing, to where it has me excited on what he does next. So I cannot wait to see exactly what happened. But it's a classic. How long do you think it takes for an album to be a classic, Elam? I say a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, definitely. I say it
Yeah,
has to be at least a year, and
yeah,
there has to be again replayability. I think
yeah,
the cultural significance and cultural impact that plays a part into something being a classic. But if I'm not going back to it 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from the
yeah.
initial, it's not a classic. And I'm not talking about a handful of songs. To me, Mad Villainy, MF Doom, uh, his album, that's a classic. Stank on You, 18 Aliens, that's a classic. Illmatic, that's a classic. 36
Mm.
Chambers, that's a classic. Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Lamar is on an unprecedented tear. I think Kendrick has about
He might
four or
have
five
three or he
albums.
might have three or four because I'm somebody that I like to be a tough critic when it comes to classic hip hop albums. Some albums are really good, but they aren't classic. You know what I'm saying? And that's what like a lot of people love. A lot of people love Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
I
Really
don't think
good
it's a
album.
classic.
Yeah, I don't
Not a
think
classic.
it's a classic. I'm trying to think what's another album that some
Section
people
80.
say.
Section 80. Classic.
See, I wouldn't call it a classic just because it didn't have those hit singles. I think hit singles sometimes have to be a part of it. Even when you look at Wu Tang, right? Cream was a hit. Like people were playing that in every coast. In Section 80, I don't think everywhere
You had Rigor
people were
Mortis.
playing it.
Rigor Mortis was on Section 80, right? Or was that overly dedicated?
No, yeah, it was rigor mortis, but I don't think that's people weren't going
Yeah,
around banging rigor mortis. People were driving
as they
around
were heard.
cash rule everything
Yes,
around me.
sir.
Free hit the money. I don't know. I haven't really heard Section 80 anywhere else other than in LA. And even in that time in LA, I remember I was a big Kendrick guy. I didn't hear a lot of the city playing it. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar, his album, his albums, and how would you rank Kendrick Lamar albums if you had to choose, right? With GNX, with Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale, Untitled, Unmastered. How would you rank Section 80, Overly Dedicated, if you want to throw that in there, um, to the Kendrick Lamar EP? How would you rank his top five? What is his Mount Rushmore of albums to Elam?
Well, first and foremost, Mount Rushmore only has four. So if we doing
So,
Mount Rushmore,
yeah,
I'll
four. We
give
do
you
four.
I'll give you Good Kid is number one.
Okay.
Uh, to Pimp is number two.
Mm.
I'm gonna give you Section 80 is number three, and GNX
Oh,
number four.
okay. I like that. I'm gonna go Good Kid, Mad City. Um,
So
I
we can
got to
agree that Good Kid, Mad City is the quintessential.
Yeah, yeah. That man made a movie. He made a content movie with that album. That was legendary. It had hit singles. Um, it had a classic hip hop record in "Sing About Me" and "Dying for Church." It was just a legendary album. Then I'm gonna have a draw. So that'll be my 2, 3. It'll be GNX and Damn. I think that Damn was really the album. He was like, "Oh, y'all love Drake? Let me show y'all I can tap into my hit single side." And he gave us his first solo number one with Humble. He gave us love and loyalty and DNA and stuff like that. Like that album was incredible and still is incredible and has done incredible numbers. And then my fourth spot, man, it's like a coin flip for me because both of these albums really does something for me. It's a coin flip between To Pimp a Butterfly and Section 80. I'm gonna go with To Pimp a Butterfly because it
And
has
what a
all right.
surprise.
Yeah, it has all right on there. The man made a hip hop political anthem. You know what I'm saying? And then it got "You Don't Gotta Lie," one of my favorite tracks on there. Probably his best intro with when he got George Clinton for an intro. You know that's crazy. These walls. He got a Tupac interview on there, so I would give it the very minute edge over Section 80. But Section 80 is crazy. But that's why he's so great. Like honestly, Elon, I've been listening to Doc when he was K Doc, and from I would say Kendrick Lamar EP all the way up. he hasn't missed. Like each album has been 8.5. Well, we got Young Thug and Mariah, the scientists, in the building here at Crypto.com Arena. Puka Nakua, he's in the building. It's some celebrities here. But yeah, man, remember you guys can always hit us up in the chat. The Misfits Live on YouTube. Of course, we're going to be here. You're going to be seeing our faces, TXC. So we want to see you pop in. Tell your mama, tell your brother, your father, your sister, auntie, grandparents, your best friend, and their family that the Misfits are here with the Sporting Tribune. We got Mookie Betts in the building.
Mookie Betts in the building.
Hey, it's when it go. People come out to see us. If y'all don't know, people come out to see us. They know that we cover their team and we cover others. Hey, imagine the next guy he just put on camera. They did him dirty for that.
Hey,
but
the score right now is 98-93.
yep.
Fourth quarter just started off. Austin Reeves is bringing up the ball. He's probably going to find me in the corner, and it's a bucket. But we are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in or find a way to stand out. This is Mykell the PG, one of the writers here on the Sporting Tribune. I'm Lamb. You can find my work, same outlet, slight work. But Kels, what you got to say to the people?
Yeah, hey man, we love and appreciate you guys for episode 1 here with the TSC. Make sure y'all tap in. I'm telling you, we're doing some great things. We see these faces, see these two faces, the future faces of the sports world, especially here in LA, and it's gonna start to spread too. So be a part of it, man. If you feel you're a misfit in this media space, reach out to us. We would love to work with you and get you a part of our movement, because the movement is here. You better be lucky that you jumped on the bandwagon now.
Hey, and the
Get us
more
out of
you
here, Lee.
invest with us, listen, we are a show literally of and for the people. As we grow, there is going to be a ton of giveaways. We're talking about game tickets, not just to little rinky-dink games, but games that you want to be at. Finals games, possibly World Series games, Super Bowl games. And you know, World Cup and the Olympics will be right here in Los Angeles. Stay tuned. We are
Yeah.
making a ton of headway. We might have some stuff for you.
Hey, follow, like, subscribe, follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, like and subscribe. Tell the people about it. We got more for you. I'm about to watch the rest of this game. Me and Elan, we're gonna enjoy it. I hope y'all doing the same at home, being safe. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Have you some good food. Be grateful that you're still living. You got your people with you, and so forth. You got a job, all that thing, because all that is a blessing, man.
Real quick, favorite Thanksgiving memory?
Man, it's all bunched up. Of course, like myself, you know, your pops passed away. Just waking up and eating, watching football from sun up to sundown, having a good time. Me, my bro, my pops, little sister, hanging out. Just those memories will always be memorable. But if it comes to sports, I remember Chiefs, Denver Broncos finished off the night one year, Thanksgiving. The Chiefs took home the win, and I loved every part of it. Gotta be mine. What's yours, E?
You know what? I would look forward to getting up with all my cousins, playing tackle football in the streets,
Yeah.
fight, riding bikes. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, it's all about family for me. In terms of Thanksgiving memories, Barry Sanders went ham one year. I forget which year it was, but it was a Barry Sanders not Super Bowl, Thanksgiving game. I want to say he played Dallas. Just went completely
probably.
Yeah.
And you know, I just love the coaching the NFL created for Thanksgiving Day, and I can't wait to see that. But I want to get to this Laker game, Clipper game. We about to check it out. We see you guys next week. Be on the lookout. Make sure you guys tap in to Misfits Live. We love you guys. We're thankful for you, and we'll see you next week, baby.
Peace.